Welcome back. Well, if you or your race team is looking for a one-of-a-kind performance race oil, look no further than Mr. Race Oil. I'm here with Tim, and Tim, I tell you what, you have wowed us in the past, always innovating and leading the way when it comes to performance race oil. And your team is really steeped in the chemistry of the oil itself, and as a result, you have come up with a winning blend, and racers have embraced it in all different types of racing. Right. Tell us a little bit about Mr. Race Oil.
Well, Mr. Race Oil is different than what you may be used to. We design the oil, we engineer the oil to the application. So the formulas for those applications are distinct for those applications. So for example, Bill, our oval track oils, which are for dirt or asphalt, oval track, are different formula types than our drag race oil. They're different than our road course oils, they're different than our marine oils. What's in the booth is a micro sprint, that's a different formula altogether. Our break-in oils are specifically designed for break-in. So everything's designed and engineered for the application, which gives performance advantages.
It really does, and let's talk about that break-in. You know, we do a car build on the show every year, and the mechanic keeps telling me the most important point is that break-in, and you've developed and now made for retail your break-in race oil. And this really is significant because this is really will give us not only performance advantage, but it's going to make sure that that engine breaks in correctly, and that really adds to the longevity.
Absolutely, it's really critical those first few moments of when an engine starts up to make sure things are going in the right direction in terms of how parts are mating in with each other, how seals are now, like rings sealing up against the cylinder liner, making sure that that's properly being done, the valve trains being protected, particularly if it's a flat tappet cam situation. I mean, all that stuff is really critical, and those first few moments, if the formula's not right, it's just not going to set the right path for a good break-in, and that's going to hurt down the line later on when it comes time to really put the race oil in and give that engine the longevity that it deserves. So it all really starts with protection right up front.
And right now it's available in a 1 quart through retail, through Jegs or somebody like that.
Yes, sir. It's the SAE 30 weight and the SAE 40 weight, which are the two most common that people use, are now available in quarts, either through MrRaceOil.com or through Jegs.com.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, you have a full synthetic, and there's a full synthetic for each type of racing. But companion to that, this year you've really released a blend, and that's going to help especially those racers out there who are on a budget. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. Particularly the racers who they don't maybe have sponsorships, they're on a budget. They're changing their oil frequently, and this is very common with a lot of the teams that are in particularly dirt track racing, oval track racing. They're changing the oil every weekend. Same in drag racing. A lot of the sportsmen, they change the oil every weekend, and they've got to be able to afford to be able to do that. But they want that performance as well. Right. So this gives them a very cost-effective option to look at. It's the same additive technologies that we use in the full synthetic. We just make it at a cost point with the synthetic blend base oils that make it more affordable. So you get the same performance, you get a different price point that makes it reasonable for the people that are changing their oil constantly. They don't have the big sponsorship dollars, right, and they want that winning edge.
So something for everybody, certainly a break-in oil, a blend, and also the full synthetic. Over our shoulder here, this micro sprint, as I understand, a 12-year-old raced to 30 victories out of his last 100 races. That's pretty neat,
Yes.
And you have a special oil that he was using as well.
Yeah, that's correct. We have what we call a micro sprint racing oil that's made particularly for the micro sprints. This happens to be a 600cc engine, and yes, the driver is 12 years old, flying, Ryan Timms, very well known in the circles, and he's had a full year, coast to coast, over 100 races, and quite a few wins. He's a phenom at the age of 12, and the engine is built by Adams Performance. They are well known in the micro sprint world. We supply a special micro sprint oil for these type of engines through Adams, and it gives a horsepower advantage without wear. They love it.
That is amazing. Well, Tim, we have a company that's innovating, leading the way, new products this year, and now introducing a blend. And with that said, right now, I know you have the attention. All of our viewers out there wanting a performance oil, what's the best way for them to learn more about Mr. Race Oil?
Well, please, and thank you for visiting the show, and please visit our website. It's www.mrraceoil.com. No spaces in there, all one word. And you get a lot more information about the products. You can also purchase products there, or you can go to jegs.com to purchase products. And we're also looking at relationships with other distributors, and we'll announce them when appropriate. So stay tuned.
Very exciting. Tim, thanks so much for being on again.
Bill, my pleasure, as always. Thank you very much.